Hi, Benjamin Atkinson here with David Bradshaw from the Fredericksburg Prayer Furnace, and we want to share something exciting that God's doing. God is bringing praying groups from across the state of Virginia and uniting us together in the place of prayer. So David, do you want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. I had a dream, I guess it was about a year ago, and in the dream I saw a vision of the east coast of the United States. And I saw it like on a map, and I saw a military crisis in the south, probably around North South Carolina, and it was moving north toward Washington, D.C. And in the dream, I called Benjamin on the phone. I said, Benjamin, we've got to unite our houses of prayer so that we can pray 24/7, day and night, so that lives can be saved. And so we felt from the dream that the Lord is desiring to raise up a unified prayer movement across Virginia where groups gather day and night, around the clock, 24/7, praying for not only for lives to be saved, but for an open heaven over this region, that instead of the loss of life, we would see salvation and healing and deliverance and a great awakening break out in this region.
In 2006, when I was at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, the Lord began to speak to me and my wife about a move of God that was coming to Virginia. And the Lord specifically used the phrase remnant prayer groups. And I saw a wave that was 3 times the size of the state. And the wave was marked revival. And the wave was coming. And the Lord said, I'm going to bring this wave through remnant praying groups of 10s, 20s, 30s, all across the state. There was groups, and they would be connected together in the place of prayer and fasting. And they loved one another and served one another. We know these now as Acts 242 communities. Praying groups of people coming together, fellowshipping, sharing, and loving and helping one another. And so, David, maybe you can talk a little bit about the strategy of why we're doing this.
Sure. We have a strategy we feel the Lord's given us for this. We believe we're in a divine window right now in Virginia where if we will gather together, praying groups, that's not just individuals, but actual praying communities, whether that's a praying church, a praying Bible study, youth group, campus ministry, gatherings of families in their homes, corporate prayer gatherings in homes, in businesses, in the marketplace, and then houses of prayer and prayer furnaces. All of us joining together to fill a calendar so that every hour of every day is covered 24/7 in Virginia, praying for the region, praying for the state, praying for the nation, and ministering to the Lord in worship. And we believe the Lord's spoken to us clearly that this is a God moment. This is an open door for us. If we will gather together, and actually because there's night watch in Virginia right now, we want to come together and build a house of prayer all across the state. And really, this has never been done in the history of the state. We believe the Lord's calling us into something new that will release an open heaven over our region.
And one of the things that's interesting, the first time what we did is we've gathered all the houses of prayer and praying groups together, and we gathered in Fredericksburg. And as we did that night, I woke up at 2:47. Suddenly, I woke up at 2:47 in the morning. The Lord said, what you guys are doing today, this is my answer. Praying groups of people coming together, fellowshipping, praying for God, me to break in their area. And I believe this is just biblical. Acts 2:42 communities, these people coming together in the place of prayer and fasting. We know that this is what the Lord has called us to. And our goal is to raise up a statewide relational group of praying friends and strengthening and encouraging each other's call to the place of prayer. What would it look like if the whole state came together and prayed day and night, night and day? It would be a sweet smelling aroma before the Lord. It would be a sweet incense. Different denominational groups, youth groups, everybody coming together and saying, we need God in this hour. We need your help. And God, you're totally absolutely worth it, praying day and night, night and day.
So we'd like to just invite you to sign up. We have a website, 24/7 Virginia.com. And if you would sign up, what we'll do is we'll begin to coordinate and administrate and help bring this thing together so we can actually gather together with a focus and with some organization. So we also sensed, this whole 242 to 247 is real significant. Acts 2:42 to 2:47, it talks about communities, the life and the spirit of the early church. And we believe, really, that is the only answer. We are in an hour of crisis right now in America, and the only answer are unified communities of prayer and fasting. And so we want to facilitate this, just bring us all together across the state. And the Acts 2:42 to 2:47 communities, we had something just interesting happen in the past 2 weeks with that, really. On May 6th, many of you will recall, the stock market took a 1,000-point plunge in 5 minutes. And of course, all the experts are debating how that could possibly have happened. Nobody has the answer to that. It's interesting because the Lord gave us this word about Acts 2:42 to 2:47. The stock market drop, that 1,000-point drop, the 5-minute period of time on May 6th was started at 2:42 and ended at 2:47. And we feel the Lord just may be trying to give this nation a wake-up call, that we are truly in an hour of crisis. And this Acts 2:42 to 2:47 initiative is God's answer to that hour of crisis. And interestingly, the day before that, May 5th, was the day that the proximity talks began in Israel related to whether they were going to divide Jerusalem, and take half of it away from Israel and give it to a Palestinian state, which is also interesting in terms of our mandate from the Lord to pray for Israel right now. This prayer movement is directly related to Israel. So we feel that what happened on May 6th just may have been God trying to get the attention of the nation, and the fact that it took place at 2:42 to 2:47 very much could be a word from the Lord to say, let's do Acts 2:42. Let's do a preemptive strike before the hour of crisis. Let's gather now so that not only will we save lives, but we'll actually see salvation and deliverance and healing break out across our nation and across Virginia.
So we want you to join, look at the website, go through it. We want you to sign up if you want more information, and we want you to register your praying group, your church, your youth group, your family. Register, look at the calendar, see where there's slots available. Come, be part of prayer in your region, and we'll see God change this state.